Hi everyone, my name is Sam. I'm the owner of Comic Sam's Crafts, where I sell finished items as well as patterns. And in this video, I'm going to show you the basics of doing tapestry crochet, which is a type of color work that can be used to create designs like these. These designs are ones that were created by me in my winter and Valentine's sets respectively. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change colors, how to carry a color, how tight the yarn that you're carrying should be, and what to do with tangled yarn, as well as how to carry the color into the next round. So one of the basic skills of tapestry crochet is how to change colors. So I've just started off with this one round of single crochets in white, and I want to do 6 stitches in white and then 6 stitches in black, and then repeat that for kind of a checkerboard pattern. So what I first want to do is get a couple of stitches of just white in there. And now I've got 3 stitches just white. And when you change colors, I like to start carrying the color that I want to change it to a couple of stitches beforehand to just keep that end a little bit more secure. So I'm going to continue doing it with just white, but I'm going to make sure that I'm crocheting around this black string here. So basically I would go into the stitch as normal and yarn over like this, but I want to make sure that I'm enclosing this black yarn within the white stitch. So then when I do the yarn over and pull through to finish the stitch, this black yarn is completely enclosed with the white. So then I would do that for one more stitch. So see, I've got 5 white stitches here, and the black yarn is completely encased in the back. And then on the stitch before the one that you want to change color, so I've got 5 stitches in white and I want to do 6 stitches in white. The last stitch in the one color is a little bit different from the rest. So you want to insert your hook and yarn over as normal and pull up a loop. But this is where it differs. When you're changing colors, you want to finish that last stitch off with the color that you're changing it to, which in this case is the black color. So I would yarn over and pull through both loops to finish the stitch. This allows me to have that last stitch be completely in the white color, but have the black color on my yarn to start this next stitch and have the next stitch be completely black. And then you would carry the white yarn the same way that you carried the black. So crocheting around it, making sure that it is completely enclosed by the black yarn, like so. Now here's another thing. You get some bunching back here, here, and here. So you want to, when you're doing tapestry crochet, to pull the carried yarn a little bit tight. I say a little bit because you want to get rid of most of the bunching in the back because it wastes yarn. But at the same time, you don't want to pull it too tight, especially depending on what type of project you're doing, because with certain projects you need a fair amount of stretchiness, and if you pull this carried color too tight, it loses the stretchiness because you've basically just got a line of yarn behind it that it keeps it from being stretchy. So you want to pull it a little bit tight so that you're not wasting yarn, but you don't want to pull it too tight so that it loses any stretchiness. It takes a little bit of practice to get the exact tightness right, but it's relatively easy once you get used to it. So I've got 4 stitches in black, 5 stitches, and then I'm going to show you the color change again. So remember, I want 6 of these black stitches, so I'm on the 6th one now, so I would insert my hook as normal, yarn over with the black, and pull up a loop, so I've got 2 black loops on my hook. And then I want to yarn over with the white, the color that I'm changing it to, and pull through both loops. And once again, that makes it so that this last stitch is completely in the original color, and then I've got the next color on my hook to start this new stitch. And I'm just going to show you what happens if you don't change it until the next stitch. So if you just did this last 6th stitch as normal, yarn over, do the normal process like this, and then you did it with the white yarn. So I'm just going to let go of the black and pull up a loop with the white, and then yarn over. This is what happens. So you've got this bottom part of the stitch is in the new color, but the top part of the stitch is in the old color. And that's because when you're crocheting, whatever color is on the hook when you're beginning a stitch, that's what becomes the top color of the stitch. So when you're doing tapestry crochet and you're changing colors, you need to make sure that you start off a little bit early. Alright, I'm almost at the end of the row, and I want to show you how to carry the color over to the next row. But one other thing that is important to mention is when you're doing tapestry crochet, when you change color, the yarn gets wrapped around itself like this. So periodically you just need to basically unravel your yarn because if it's only wrapped around a couple of times, you can do what I was doing, which is basically just when you're just starting a stitch, you just go like this to move the wraps a little bit further down. But if you're changing colors a lot of times, or you're finding it to just be particularly irritating, it's just easier to unravel it on a fairly regular basis. Additionally, that's one of the reasons why I like using small skeins like this, because it's so much easier to unravel it when you're not using ginormous skeins of yarn. So, ending the row, if I wanted to start it off with black, I could just finish as normal, but if I want to do another row of the same pattern that I did on this previous row, where I've got white and then black and then white and then, going around instead of black on the white and then white on the black, I would want to make sure that my last stitch does the color change as usual. So once again, inserting my hook, pull up a loop, and then finishing that stitch with the color that I want the next stitch to be, like this. And then when you're finishing off a row, when you're doing crocheting in the round, you would slip stitch and then chain one, which is what I'm going to do here. But when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're carrying this color within the slip stitch, the same as you would with a regular stitch. So once again, I'm just making sure I'm crocheting around this color and then I slip stitch and chain 1, and then I would obviously start off doing the next round like this. And then the black, as you can see, gets carried into the next round. The other thing that I wanted to show you is how the yarn gets completely enclosed. So see this here, the black yarn is completely enclosed by the stitches. So it's not just a line of yarn in the back, which is what would happen if you were not enclosing it. You were just crocheting as normal and then picking it up the next time you need that color. Hopefully this was helpful, and please let me know if you have any other questions, and if you have any other types of crochet or stitches that you want me to explain. Please let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to fulfill your request. In the next couple of days, I should be posting a video on tapestry crochet tips that are specific to my tapestry crochet patterns, because obviously I get a lot of questions about why I do certain things a certain way in my patterns, and I just want to clear things up.